Hey, what's up, guys? So, Bitcoin, for the past few weeks has been seeing some blood, seeing some downside. I'm looking right here on the monthly candle, and this is going to be in about 3 days the first monthly red candle we have seen since last August, which is crazy to say because a lot of people right now are in fear. Um, a lot of emotions are running high. A lot of people, I think, exited the market. Sentiment's been quite low the past few weeks. But if you think about it, we had like the longest streak since I believe 2013 of green monthly candles, and we're just seeing a red candle that's consolidating or pulling back to the prior cycle's all-time high monthly closes. This is, to me, just a retest of this breakout. So we broke out on the previous month back in March, and now we're seeing a retest. And I mentioned this a few weeks ago about the Bitcoin monthly, and it hasn't really changed. This was 2 weeks ago, and this is today. It looks exactly the same. So things feel like they're falling, but it hasn't really had much since we had that original dump down to this area. So for me, when I look at this, if I look at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, right? Where do we start? Right, we're in an uptrend, so we can identify that we are in an uptrend. Um, and in a uptrend, when you see consolidation, then the expectation would be for continuation. I said that around here. I said that during this whole time frame, right here, that you should expect a continuation of the uptrend because we had developed, higher highs, higher lows. Um, Once again, like in this area, when people were calling for a crash, we saw the same thing. I said the same thing. In an uptrend, you should expect a continuation. It doesn't always work out. Like if you go back here, this, this was a consolidation up here at the top and it broke down. And eventually this will break down. Like eventually the uptrend will come to an end. We don't know when though. But in any consolidation during an uptrend, you should expect a continuation. So the things I'm looking at right now for the weekly time frame is for the RSI, I would like to see it make a lower low right here. And it's flirted with it multiple times in the past few weeks, but every single time the RSI would get back above. So what we ultimately want to see is perhaps a lower low right here. It's about there right now. So if the price were to close at this price, we would get that lower low in the RSI, and then from there, once when we get a green weekly close, we could then make potentially bullish divergence. It would be a complete reset from all the way down here in this 40K area. The RSI would be back to where it was when we were down at the 40K area. So I'm going to show you the total three, and I'm also going to mention recently I started a Patreon. If that interests you, I know a lot of people have been messaging me the past few years actually about it. I started it. This was the first post. I've posted multiple times since. Um, it's more in-depth analysis, a lot more writing. It takes a lot more time. So if that's something that interests you, you could just click right here. We're gonna go to the alts now. Total three. This is alts minus Ethereum. And what do you see? You're basically seeing a consolidation or a retest of basically this area, which was major support that ended up breaking down in the bear market, and now we're retesting it. We're basically doing this but in reverse. So as long as this holds, there's no reason to get bearish. And then this is the same thing we had during in December. I had mentioned this at the time. A lot of people were super scared around here when we were retesting this, and I remember saying like, "Hey, this is probably a huge opportunity," and most people probably didn't take advantage of it, and it ended up being a big opportunity because we ended up following up with two big green monthly candles. So to me, this is just another big opportunity. If you look at total two, which includes Ethereum, it's the same thing, a retest of this area. Um, that's just how it goes. People usually don't buy when there's a lot of fear, and there's a lot of fear right now. A lot of people are down. I'm down. A lot of people are down. Anyone who tells you they're not down, um, you know, they're likely not telling the truth. And that's the other thing. Don't compare yourself to other people online. A lot of people online like to exaggerate or want to show you just one side. It's okay to take losses. It's okay to make gains. Um, but there's a lot of people that just want to tell you that are basically up only. And when you compare yourself to that, it's hard. It's almost impossible to try to mentally accept that other people are up only when in reality they are not, more than likely. I'm gonna go to the stock market. So this is the S&P 500 on the weekly time frame. This is making bullish divergence potentially. Right here, if you look at this, this would be bullish divergence. So I think a lot of things are set up right here. That's the weekly close. I would like another green weekly close to like further confirm this as bullish divergence because usually these these like V's, I guess you can call them. I like to see them come up a little bit higher before because you do get like fake outs. Sometimes like these ones are like not enough. Not that this was going to be bullish divergence or bearish divergence, but you do see these sometimes where you see like a little nudge. This one looks decent. Um, so we could say this is bullish divergence. We'll just keep an eye on it. We'll see what happens next week with that close. And then I'm going to go lastly to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, I'm going to go to the monthly time frame. We'll see how the monthly candle closes. It might close below this. I'm more interested, I'd say, if it broke down below this 54 level. But for now, I'd say it broke up and it probably will retest this at some point, and we'll see how it reacts there. Could this be at the actual top? Perhaps, but we'll see how it reacts here. If it breaks down below this, and I think that would be a sign. I mean, we already have like a small sign. This weekly close back below. This kind of was like a false breakout, and we're seeing further downside. So we'll probably see a retest of this area, but then from there we'll get more of a signal. Um, I just want to see if there's anything left to say for Bitcoin. I think May will be more telling than April. I think April we just got this retest, so we'll see what happens in May. Maybe we'll get the green monthly candle again and then continue the uptrend. Um, there is, I guess, let me go to the weekly time frame. Ultimately, though, we do want to see this like 60K area hold. If we don't, we might see a test down here. It might be fast. It might, um, it might happen. I wouldn't rule it out at all. But I'd say overall, this is a consolidation and an uptrend. So it still favors a continuation just based on that.